Bum bum bum.
Bum bum burrito.
How you doing, Rocco?
Bananas for Comics, episode 4.
We're the Chimps. I'm Robbie.
I'm Rocco.
And I'm Jonathan?
Yeah,
No.
that's not right, but...
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Rocco.
And I'm the one left, Robbie.
And we're Bananas for Comics.
Yep.
Wait, what does he say? Are you the Joker that matters?
Three Jokers, issue 3.
So,
Which we'll be discussing next week.
Yeah, next week, Three Jokers episode. So
three
exciting.
Chimps discuss the three Jokers. Be excited. Nice.
So what happened in news?
We got Moon Knight news.
Who?
Moon
The
Knight.
Batman guy. Marvel's Batman.
Oh, okay.
No.
So
Moon
he's
Knight
like...
is Marvel's Batman if he was insane.
Yeah, no.
No. Moon Knight's his own character. He's a very good character. I like him. And he's getting, we already knew he was getting a Disney Plus TV show, but now we have, I think all but confirmed rumors that Oscar Isaac is going to play him. Oscar Isaac, known for, I mean, I don't want to say his
Llewyn
best.
Davis.
Yeah, that's his, he's in a lot of really good indie movies, but a lot of people
He's
will
the
know
best
him.
part of Ex Machina?
Yes.
He's an
X-Men.
Just say Poe Dameron. He's Poe Dameron.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, most people will know him from Star Wars.
I love him as Poe Dameron.
I haven't seen it.
Yes. You like Poe Dameron?
I do like Poe
He's
Dameron.
a good character.
I do like him.
Why'd you do that? He just aged. He went as close to the mic as possible. To
I had a lot of, I'm just in the mood.
Cool. So guys, what do you think of that guy?
I like it. I've seen Oscar Isaac do a lot of crazy performances.
Like what?
I don't know. Don't put me on the
He
spot
was-
like that.
He was pretty cuckoo bananas in Ex Machina.
He has his moments in X.
He's got his
Yeah.
moments.
Oh, you know what? He's not crazy in this, but he's like
Oh. No, you haven't seen it.
What?
Annihilation.
Oh, he's
Isn't he like
He-
have no character in Annihilation?
just watch the movie.
Watch the movie.
Maybe I will. He's also in that George Clooney movie.
The Nespresso ad?
No.
Oh.
The one with Matt Damon where he kills his wife.
The Accountant? I don't know.
That is not a George Clooney movie, and that's Ben Affleck.
You're
don't know.
you're a freaking eagle, aren't you? Seeing that? Invincible?
We're just naming every big Hollywood white actor now.
It's Marky Mark.
No, what's that one called? I don't know. Suburbicon.
The
Suburbica?
Grand Budapest Hotel.
Suburbicana? Suburbicon?
Oh, the
Argo?
No!
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Why do you guys keep going back to Ben Affleck? What is the...
The town?
No, that George Clooney directed movie starring Matt Damon that Oscar
newsroom
Isaac was
one?
in. What?
When the guy with the gun comes in the newsroom?
No! He maybe no! I don't know. It's Matt Damon kills his wife and is trying to cover it up,
In
and
real
it's in a
life?
suburban town, and it's called like Suburbicon
Okay, Suburbicon.
And
His
Os-
Instagram
or
live?
something.
All right,
And
so
Oscar. All right, back to the point. Oscar Isaac is in it and plays a crooked cop and he's good in it. He's only there for like 20 minutes, but he was good in it. He's in Drive.
he is in Drive.
I'm just listing Oscar Isaac movies now. He's a good actor. I like him.
The audio levels
I
are
know.
through the roof. We gotta.
You guys are getting me mad.
Oscar Isaac is in so many roles, I just can't name them all, and it's making me mad.
Oh, he was in The Force Awakens.
Was he in The Last Jedi? I don't remember.
Yes.
What's The Last Jedi?
He was also in The
The
Rise
Star
of
Trek
Skywalker.
movie.
The Rise of Jedi. Nah, badoo.
What?
For those of you at home, Jonathan put on sunglasses for that joke.
Dude, we got like 15 seconds worth of content in, and it's been what?
5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Are we gonna cut a lot of this?
No.
Good.
Nick Kroll.
He's probably
Oh, yeah.
not gonna be in it. I don't know.
I don't know.
Who would he play?
Frenchie.
Frenchie?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that'd work. All right,
And
but he's not French.
There was someone
Imagine
else.
Nick Kroll doing a French accent.
He's got a malleable voice,
He's
whether
a good
you
dude.
like it or not.
There's that other... I don't know
What's
the
his
other.
name from Hamilton and Clipping?
Who's
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
No.
Who's he in Hamilton?
Big Mouth.
No.
John Mulaney.
It's funny that you bring up Hamilton. I watched
Jason
a
Mantzoukas.
wrestling show last night.
That's
and
cool.
This is not the wrestling podcast. Save
The
it
one
for-
that did the national anthem was
Nick Kroll.
George Washington from
Oh.
Hamilton.
Nick Kroll
We can cut that out.
walking
Just
down
wanted
the
to say it.
street.
Don't make more work for me.
I'm making more work for you.
In other
You
news,
gotta cut it because I'm getting close to the mic and it's getting red.
In other news, the Parasite Criterion is coming out.
Yeah, that's big. I'm excited for
This
that.
isn't a movie podcast.
Whether we like it or not, it's gonna cover those topics just because of who we are.
Parasite, never heard of it.
David Diggs. The other one.
How many people in the United States of America actually saw Parasite? Do you remember that guy?
All three of us.
No, but that was the guy.
Yeah, I know, but like,
There's a
if
fat
you look at
incel.
the odds, we're 3 for 3. So that means in a room, 3 out of 3 people will always have seen Parasite.
Wait, guys, I just want to let you to look this text right now because it's really funny that it's
That was
relevant.
really. Jonathan just got a text. Hey, did you hear about Moon Knight?
That was
As
funny.
we're recording this. Very funny.
Other news: Suicide Squad pictures.
Shout out to Jack. He's the one.
Martha.
Other news: Suicide Squad got to see a close look at Polka Dot Man,
My boy!
and
We got another look at Weasel from a distance.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love him.
Weasel.
I don't know. He's Sean Bean. No, Sean Gunn.
Sean
Oh, Sean Gunn. We also got to look at John Cena.
Who?
In his
Peacemaker.
full Peacemaker costume. He looks
Looks really
fantastic. His gun is like the size of his leg.
Right.
It's just
Everyone
a
looks
pistol.
clap clap so good.
Who was in the was the third Harley Quinn in that image, or was that someone else? No, it was
No, it was
Killshot.
Killshot.
Who's
and,
Idris Elba's character?
Yeah.
Is it
I don't
Killshot?
know. It was Idris Elba and then someone else that wasn't Harley Quinn.
The 3 Harleys.
I'm
That-
excited for
I-
this movie.
yeah, it's
There's
gonna
so
be
many
good.
oddball characters.
I'm very excited.
There's gonna be a lot of people that die in this movie too.
Capaldi as the
cool.
Thinker looks awesome.
I just
We
wanna
can-
see-
another little visual
Oh,
of
yeah.
him.
Polka Dot Man.
I'm very excited for this.
I want to see Ratcatcher too. I just like obscure
see
characters.
everyone in
Seems
this movie.
very interesting. I really like this.
Did you know the original character was actually a man?
Yes.
It's pretty cool. I'm excited for this.
I'm excited too.
When Gunn was talking about it, he like cited all the right
He knows what he's
inspirations
doing.
for it. Yeah, he knows what he's doing on this. I'm looking at you, David Ayer.
No, you're
David
not. You're looking at
Hayter?
me.
Did you say David Hayter?
I did. I meant Ayer. Whatever. Release the Ayer cut. I want to see more Jared Leto.
Or at least the hater cut.
What else happened?
We are seeing more. Jared Leto.
That's right.
Great segue.
The
Jared
Snyder
Leto-
cut. We're gonna see more Jared Leto as the
Oh yeah.
Jared Leto and who's the actor for Deathstroke?
I don't care.
What's his name?
That guy, Joey. John.
Yes.
What's his name?
Joey D&D Man McLeod.
It's John.
Joey Diaz.
No, he's the Italian dude who loves
He's
D&D.
in Spider-Man 1.
He's flashed. I
And
wouldn't want to
Spider-Man
fight me
3.
neither.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna be in it.
Yep.
We should look it up.
Holy
look it up.
freaking
I don't want
crap.
to.
Look it. Jonathan, look it up.
Look at what?
Who's the guy who plays Deathstroke?
It's
No.
It's oh my god. His
Joey
Why are we focusing-
Matt Manganello.
Why are we
Joe
focusing-
Manganiello.
Why are we-
Manganiello?
I said it right.
Why are we focusing on death?
That's right.
On Deathstroke when
All right, wait.
Shh.
Reset.
Yeah.
Jared Leto.
and
Joker.
Joey.
No, it's fine. We're talking about Jared Leto here.
But they're both gonna be in it. People
yeah,
should
but
be excited about it. People love Deathstroke.
he's not damaged.
Yeah. Does
Can
he have
we
a
just
face
say
tattoo?
both, please?
We just did.
We have to cut like 8 of this 9
Jared
minutes out.
Leto. For those of you who don't know,
Played the best Joker.
In 2016's Requiem for a Dream.
What? No. Suicide Squad. The most ridiculous,
Oscar
over-the-top
winning.
take of the character.
Suicide
Very fun
Squad.
movie. I don't care what anyone says.
I disagree.
It's not good, but it's a lot of
I'll
fun.
agree on that. I don't like it.
you said fun though.
It's
Oh, okay.
It's an enjoyable, terrible movie.
Jared Leto is ridiculous to watch in that movie.
They cut out. Did they
Alright.
film like 4 hours of footage with him and
He
use
said-
like 5 minutes?
Yeah, I think he said something like, we basically filmed my own movie or something.
Yeah.
I want to see that. Just because he's so ridiculous.
Release the Ayer cut.
Let's
do it.
Not.
Let's do it.
I don't want this to be a thing.
It's already a thing. It started a thing the moment the Snyder cut got announced. They went over to the Ayer cut.
Now we're getting the true Godfather 3. Because fuck Sofia Coppola.
Zack Snyder's Godfather
Who?
3.
Fuck you.
Really?
I didn't set out for this to be a cursing podcast, and I just did that twice in a row. It's fine, whatever. Anything else happen?
You dare.
I think that's it.
So, Bananas for Comics. There's 3 of us. 3 of us. Yeah.
Keep that in.
Okay.
But like, put it at the beginning.
So what have we been reading?
I have read a Morrison book this week.
Wait, which one?
I read his New 52 Action Comics because I got excited after we talked about Superman, and I was in the mood for some Superman, and I was in the mood for some Morrison. So you know what I did? I dusted off the old shelf, and it was good. I had read 3 volumes. I read volume 1 a couple months ago, and it didn't really catch me, so I never was in a rush to read 2 and 3. It really picks up. I really enjoyed it. He definitely, it's very obvious from the get-go he doesn't want to just make a second All-Star Superman. So he's doing a brand new take on the character, which was the whole point of New 52. So I enjoyed it. I'm excited for the omnibus. I might sell the trades and buy it up.
Is that just his run? Because that's not super long.
Yeah, it's a short omni. It's just the 3 volumes. I don't know what they're going to include in it.
Okay.
So
Jonathan, what have you been reading?
Me? I've been reading some novels, but I'm not going to talk about that here.
Yeah, this
Okay,
isn't
so
a
don't.
book podcast.
I've been reading Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I'm 2 volumes in.
Well, that's only the title of the second volume. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. That's the title of the second book. The first one is Scott Pilgrim's Precious Little Life, and then it's versus the World.
Okay, I'm reading
Shut
Scott
the
Pilgrim.
fuck up.
What?
I'm reading Scott Pilgrim. I'm on volume 2. I'm loving it. It's straying more and more from the movie as it goes. I love the movie, and yeah, I'm in love with this book so far.
Rocco, you read all of it, right?
I read it all in like a day. I love that book so much.
Book 4 is so much fun. The summer one.
Oh my god. I really love the entire, yeah.
When you get a book 4, it's so much fun.
When I get
So
to
good.
book 4, I'll be sure to talk about it here on Bananas for Comics on our What Are We Reading section.
Hi, Jonathan. Are you going to talk about book 4 when you get to it on Bananas for Podcast? In the What We Read?
Hi, Rocco. I will be talking about Scott Pilgrim book 4 when I get to it on this podcast.
At
Bananas.
everyone. What, you two just read something that I didn't, but I'm going to after this.
You've read it?
Oh my god,
I
yeah.
didn't read it.
Oh,
Wait,
sorry.
I hinted at it earlier. Me and Jonathan have just finished reading Batman the 3 Jokers issue 3, the final issue.
That's a long title.
That's the whole title. It was, it's a book, came out. It's
absolute garbage.
I will say, I haven't read the third one, or the first and second. It astounds me that this book is, like, getting smash hit 10 out of 10 scores everywhere.
I'm going to be perfectly clear and
They're
honest.
trying to find a better Joker.
Okay, I want to be perfectly clear and honest. This book feels genuinely like it was written by a middle schooler as a fan fiction that they posted on Tumblr, and then someone drew it. Well, all right, someone really famous drew it because the art's great.
Yeah, the book looks really nice.
But
I think it's good enough.
god damn, is the writing just atrocious. I don't know what happened.
I think what I said before is honestly true. He
Oh,
set
yeah.
himself up to deliver a promise he made years ago, and now he's
five
years ago.
years ago.
And now he's just like, freaking, I don't know, multiple Jokers. Like,
I think if
I don't think
read-
he knew what he was doing.
No, he had no idea what he was gonna write. This book doesn't even make sense.
Listen, if I read this 5 years ago, I'd probably love it.
I don't think I would.
If I was in 10th grade still, yeah, I probably would have liked it. I liked anything in 10th grade.
Yeah, 5 years ago?
Mm,
I didn't even
I don't
exist
think
5
so.
years ago. Like,
I know what you mean, though.
What the fuck was that?
So
What's going on?
I had an itch.
3 Jokers, 3. So many
I'm
Jokers.
very, very excited to talk about it next week. I'm going to reread all 3 issues.
I'm excited to read it.
In preparation.
I'm not putting myself through that. 3 Jokers.
1,
Imagine
2,
if-
3. 1, 2, 3 Jokers.
I'm not going to continue this.
Alright.
Imagine if 3 Jokers... Imagine if 3's company was just with the 3's Jokers, but it was still released whenever that show came out.
That'd be something else, Rocco.
Hi, Robbie. Would you say that 3 company with 3 Jokers would be something else?
Hi, Rocco.
Moving on.
It's getting
We have
so
a-
old so fast.
Robbie, what have you been reading?
What have I been reading? Nothing. Since last week? I don't think I read a single thing.
You haven't read a single thing since last week.
Hey, Robbie, what's the topic for today?
Do a better transition than that. Better
Robbie.
transition. Hey, guys, we're the 3 Chimps. That's a trinity of Chimps.
Hey, Robbie, what's the
Trinity of
topic for
Chimps.
today?
My favorite superhero. My hero. My hero. My favorite superhero. Wonder Woman.
Let me take a guess.
Okay.
What?
What?
Walkaman? Really? That's what you got?
I tried to say Wonder Woman and Aquaman at the same
Yeah,
time.
Walkaman. I got it. That was interesting.
Podcast.
You should put your sunglasses back on for that one. It's too late.
No, it's fine.
Everyone be quiet. Okay. You need to be quiet. Podcast. Fucking awesome, man.
I'm going to talk a lot of history when it comes to Wonder Woman. I'm going to talk her evolution as an icon. I'm going to talk her creator. I'm going to focus on 3 very specific eras of Wonder Woman and my opinion on all 3. Can you stop going through my notes?
This guy has like 20 pages of notes.
And it's so overwhelming to look at that I'm going to do my best. So, the 3 eras I'm going to talk about are the William Moulton Marston era in the 40s. I'm going to jump to the 80s for George Perez. And then I'm going to flash to 2011 for Brian Azzarello. And I'll cap it off with 2016's Rebirth by Rucka and Nicholas Scott on art. And Liam Sharp, because there's 2 artists. I always forget that.
I love Liam Sharp.
You do?
Liam Sharp is the man.
You know him too?
Yeah.
You like him?
I love his work on
He's good.
the Green Lantern with Grant Morrison.
Who?
Grant Morrison, writer
Oh.
of The Invisibles.
I should read that. So,
Writer of Wonder Woman Earth 1.
yes. Something I really surprisingly haven't read. I know.
It's good.
It's great. You've read it?
I read Volume 1. I
Okay.
liked it.
It's going to be
reread
volume
it.
3.
Yeah.
I'll get all 3, because I really want to read that.
You should
And
start getting 1 and 2 before they go to soft cover.
And when I listened to Grant Morrison on Fat Man on Batman talk about Wonder Woman Earth 1 and going back into the Marsden stuff and all that iconography, and it just sounds so good.
Yeah, it's cool.
It sounds really good. Although there's some unfortunate stuff that I read about it.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
I'm not going to get into it, because I haven't read it yet, so
I don't know.
I don't know how confidently I can go into something I haven't read.
Okay.
Alright, so Wonder Woman. The idea was conceived in the 40s by psychiatrist William Moulton Marston. Now, William Moulton Marston is a very interesting person. He is a psychiatrist. He's commonly credited as the inventor of the lie detector test. He sort of made a proto version. So he makes essentially the key component for what would become the lie detector as we know it. But the reason that is such an interesting thing is because Wonder Woman's key weapon is the lasso of truth. So,
Whoa.
did you not know that?
I mean, maybe at one point, but I didn't know that now.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
That was the most ingenuine.
Disingenuous, Rocco.
Ingenuine.
All right. A lot of the information I'm getting about William Moulton Marston comes from a really good book that I didn't have enough time to finish. So I'm mostly citing the article written by the same person. Her name is Jill Lepore. She wrote The Secret History of Wonder Woman, which is, as I said, both a book but also a in-depth article, which is very nice.
Didn't they also make a movie based around it?
They made, I think it's called Marston and the Wonder Women.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. Have you seen it?
No, I really want to, though.
I want to see it too.
So that leads us into William Moulton Marston as an individual. He was married to a lawyer by the name of Elizabeth Holloway. Despite being married, he formed a relationship with a former student of his, Olive Byrne. But this wasn't how it sounds. It ended up being a somewhat polyamorous relationship between the three of them. So, something really interesting about Olive Byrne, her mother, she was the niece of Margaret Sanger, who is a very, very important feminist figure for opening one of the first, what is it called? Birth control facility. I don't know what the term... like a proto version of that.
Okay.
Like one of the earliest ones.
Yeah. Wow, there's a lot of...
So, right from the get-go, we see Wonder Woman created by written by William Moulton Marston at the time, not under his name. There's layers of secrecy going on here that Marston keeps, but in almost every element of Marston and the people connected to him, it is so rooted in these early feminist figures and ideals. And it does get filtered by Marston, who is a proud feminist, but he definitely progressive, especially in the time.
In the 40s, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's...
But he misses quite a lot. One of those... He was very insistent on these elements of bondage being extremely prevalent in every single issue of Wonder Woman through the Golden Age. His scripts would have these very in-depth descriptions.
I didn't know that. That's nuts.
You should read some of them.
Yeah,
They're crazy.
You think they're in the omnibus at all? The Golden Age?
No, I have one. I have one in front of me. It is... So this is one of his descriptions in his scripts. Close-up, full-length figure of Wonder Woman. Do some careful chaining here. Mars's men's are experts. Put a metal collar on Wonder Woman with a chain running off from the panel, as though she was chained in a line of prisoners. Have her hands clasped together at her breasts with double bands on her wrists, her Amazon bracelets, and another set. Between these runs a short chain about the length of a handcuff chain. I'm only halfway through, and it continues.
Wow.
And he
That's nuts.
is so specific, and he ends it with, this whole panel will lose its point and spoil the story unless these chains are drawn exactly as described here. So
the exact opposite of Alan Moore.
he really puts his foot down on this stuff.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Because this guy, like Alan, for those of you who don't know, Alan Moore also is very, very descriptive about his scripts, but at the end he would always end it with, but if you could think of anything better, just do it.
He will have, paragraphs for one panel, but if you got something, throw it in there. It's fine.
I love it. That's so funny that this is like...
What a guy.
Opposite.
So, from the start, Marston was met with a lot of criticism from his editor. He was very... his name was Gaines. He was very nervous about what the audience would take from that. And Gaines received a letter in September of 1943 from John D. Jacobs. He was in the Army, and it read, I am one of those odd, perhaps unfortunate men who derive an extreme erotic pleasure from the mere thought of a beautiful girl, and he describes something I don't want to read.
Okay.
Yikes.
And this, you could read it.
I want to read it too.
And this was
Wait, where is it?
at the bottom here. And this was the editor finally saying, you're going a little too far. And he sends a letter to Marston explaining why he should dial it back.
Jesus Christ.
Right?
Oh my god. This is nuts, fellas. This is a lot.
Here, you just
right
read
at
it.
the bottom. This is from the 40s. What the fuck? I'd be surprised if someone said this today.
Oh.
Whoa.
So Gaines forwards that letter to Marston,
Cool.
and he talks about that this was his biggest fear. Like, this is not what I wanted from this. And Marston responded, I have the good sergeant's letter in which he expresses his enthusiasm over chains for women. So what?
Yeah.
So, I mentioned before these layers of secrecy that actually hide the influence behind Wonder Woman through Marston. When Marston wants so much of these chains and instances of bondage, there is another secret purpose there. That, again, progressive, but he's held back a little bit because he's getting something else from this, clearly.
Yeah.
But it comes from when Marston was a freshman at Harvard. Oh my god, I'm gonna mispronounce this name. Emmeline? Emmeline Pankhurst. She had chained herself outside these gates at their school in protest of birth control over the government. And he cites several others of the same form of protest of being in chains. And that is where...
Wait, they're against birth control, right?
No.
They're for
They're for it.
Oh, okay.
The chains are the symbolic of what the government is doing to them.
Okay.
And so, by Marston always having Wonder Woman in chains, every issue means she has to break them. So, again, you see this odd layer of secrecy that, if it wasn't there, it would probably work more in Marston's favor. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, the Golden Age of Wonder Woman is progressive for the time, but certainly retrospectively complicating.
For sure. I will say Golden Age Wonder Woman is actually one of the few Golden Age characters that I want to check out, just for how much history is in it and how deeply layered it is.
She has a very interesting history for sure.
Yeah, going back to like other characters like Batman or Superman, their Golden Age stuff is very just like...
I have no
Not my
desire
thing,
to
yeah.
read.
I've tried Golden Age Batman and it's just like not for me at all.
So the next era of Wonder Woman I'm going to go into jumps forward into the 80s, after continuity had started being something that's, really interesting and connective and can get readers to jump on other books, but also can do the opposite. It could shy away new readers or turn them away. Superman can reference something that one reader recognizes and the other reader is totally confused by. I don't much care for continuity. What about you two?
I'll talk about continuity next week at Three Jokers.
Okay.
Continuity just makes me exhausted.
Yeah, I think it's... I see the
think-
point of it.
Continuity can be good, but it could also be...
I think it hurts more stories than it helps.
I think in the modern age, for sure.
Yes. So basically, the DC universe was getting so crazy and convoluted that they had Crisis. This was Infinite Earths, the first
Crisis on Infinite Earths. Well, it's
Yes.
not... Yeah, it's the first one that rebooted. It's not the first Crisis.
one? Right, yeah, that's what I meant. And this gave the opportunity to reboot, start fresh. So basically, out of Crisis, we have John Byrne, a man I hate, who I
Really?
will not be talking about.
Did John Byrne write it before?
No, his Superman.
Oh, okay, yeah, his Superman.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about his Wonder Woman.
Okay.
So John Byrne does The Man of Steel,
Mhm.
and Frank Miller does The Dark Knight Returns.
I don't think that's right out of Batman. I think...
It doesn't spin out of it,
Yeah.
but it's 80s.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I mean. It's this time
Oh,
of
yeah.
of these character defining.
Okay.
But I should have specified that.
Yeah.
So, Paul Levitz, the editor, said it's about time. Let's get Wonder Woman going too. During Crisis, they needed a penciler, who became George Perez, and when they wanted to reboot Wonder Woman, they had Greg Potter writing it, and he had this interesting but not really working take on Wonder Woman, and when Perez saw that the opportunity was there, he jumped on it. He was not a fan of Wonder Woman, believe it or not, at first. A quote from him is, "Most of the stuff I read, unfortunately, was not the series in her heyday." So he was reading at the time where Wonder Woman was really spiraling downhill, After Marsden's death, Wonder Woman jumps through several weird, bizarre phases that work in the opposite direction of what she was founded on. There's a time she gives up her powers to be with Steve Trevor.
That's not the Denny O'Neil stuff, right?
No.
That's after Perez.
You talking about the spy stuff?
Yeah.
So that's another one.
She loses her powers during that.
Yes,
Yeah.
she becomes a super spy.
So weird.
Just like all this weird stuff that is not in the character's foundation, basically. And he also says, the stories were rather silly. She was basically the male concept of what a female hero was, with the stereotypical trait that they gave to a lot of their female characters, in which she was worried more about having a date than saving the world. So Perez, from the very beginning, saw the opportunity to bring this character back to where she should be, which is a really progressive character. The idea sparked with... Who wrote Teen Titans with him? Was that Wolfman? Marv Wolfman. There's a story where the Teen Titans go to Themyscira. It wasn't Themyscira at the time. It was... what's the other one? Paradise Island. Yeah. Perez turns it into Themyscira. He comes up with that name. Oh, I don't know if he comes up with it. He gives it that name.
Okay. I didn't know that, actually.
And so, when the Teen Titans fight the Titans of Greek myth, this is where he goes, let's go in that direction.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman is not just a superhero in the fashion of Superman and Batman. She's a mythical figure. And that is his opening 14 issues on his run are absolutely the best, most character-defining work on Wonder Woman to this day. It is absolutely her Dark Knight Returns, her year one. It's really fantastic. And this is where we get a lot of that heavy Greek influence. We have Wonder Woman. This is where she really comes into her own, even more so than Marsden. Marsden has the most important foundation to her. Perez turns her into the character we really know.
Yeah.
That book is great. It fights sexism, racism, ageism, body shaming.
Oh, wow.
You name it. It's really, really fantastic.
I really want to read that.
It's great.
That's like doing the same work that Denny and Neil were doing on Green Arrow, Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Fighting
tackling all these social issues.
Yeah. Which is awesome.
It's really good. Oh yeah, one more thing about Perez's Wonder Woman. So the opening is in, it's like 100,000 BC or something, caveman times, whatever that is. So right off the bat, we get a caveman who is so maddened by his defeat at saber-toothed tiger, and he goes home and he takes it out on his, I guess, what's the caveman equivalent to a wife? Partner. Yeah. And he kills her. So right from the opening, you see
that's in the opening of the book. Whoa!
This is what this book is doing.
That's crazy.
And we see the formation of the Amazons here. Her soul leaves her body and goes to, man, I haven't read it in a while. Some form of Hades, I believe. And it sort of sits there up until the Greek pantheon decides they should use all these souls of these murdered women to make the best the world has. The Amazons. But Ares says no, he's the best they can offer through, war and such. So right off the bat, you have that battling ideology, and that's...
Yeah, because Ares will become a staple villain.
Yes, yep, through Perez's run.
Yeah.
And that's what these 14 issues are. It's very much that. It's saving the world through love versus saving the world through war. And that's exactly what Perez explores here. So Perez turns Wonder Woman into the best she can be, loving, compassionate, the best. And Phil Jimenez, who I personally really love his run. I don't know where that sits in the general consensus, but that's a run that I just really love. He furthers that even further. Phil Jimenez, a gay man who views Wonder Woman, as do others, as very much so a queer icon. He goes through with that view in his book, and he's the ultimate supporter in Wonder Woman being just the best, most compassionate icon of love and not violence.
Yay.
So let's go in the opposite direction and jump to New 52.
The only Wonder Woman run I've read.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk to you about this.
Yeah.
Brian Azzarello,
who I am a fan of. I know people. It's like a mixed bag with him with some people. I am a fan of his work.
I think he could be talented. For sure.
You're
I don't.
good.
He gets a lot of hate.
Yeah.
For sure. But it's never been a secret how he feels about Wonder Woman and her history, her backstory. He's not that into it. And he makes that very clear. So, Wonder Woman in the New 52, this is actually where I started with singles, month to month. He was 11 issues in, so I got 1, and then I got 2 through 11, and then I kept up with the book. So it's a book that, at the time, was big for me, because it was like, oh, nice, I'm reading Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
You know? Retrospectively now, I have a lot of more problems with it. It's a fairly solid book.
I think it's one of his best written works.
It is not Wonder Woman.
Yeah. that might be the case.
Yes, and definitely looking at it through that lens, it gets harder and harder to like it as much as I used to. So he takes Wonder Woman and he pushes it more in your, I want to say, stereotypical female character. From a corporate level, I mean. One that is not trying to take a stance and is not taking as much risks as the character did previously.
Yeah. I don't think she's, like, written stereotypically, but I will agree with, she's not written for, like, advocating peace. Or
and that's my biggest problem.
And that,
this Wonder Woman, she just kills. She's like,
it's
not that Wonder Woman hasn't killed.
It's very much going for a more war-driven character.
And I am going to wrap up where this book goes, so spoilers ahead. Wonder Woman, the antithesis of love. Wait, did I use the right word there?
Yeah, you used the right word.
I did? Yeah. Of love and compassion, becomes the god of war.
Yeah.
A choice that really bothered me at the time.
Yeah, so the idea was that Ares isn't as bad. He's not a bad guy in the New 52. He's just like this tired old man. I guess what Azarella was going for was to mix the idea of love and passion and war into one being, but he doesn't really set up Wonder Woman as a love and passion character. She definitely will advocate for her friends and will defend them, but she's not advocating for the entire world, which is what she's always been. Right?
No. And that's something that I find so interesting about Wonder Woman is she gives up, it's called Paradise Island, Themyscira. She gives up paradise, eternal life, her loved ones, to take a chance in a world that doesn't really fully accept her. But she never thinks twice about that. She is just there to do the right thing. And Azarello really loses that for me. And Azarello's Themyscira, I extremely hate.
Well, yeah, it's also all about war.
Yes, so
I think he's going for a more Roman take. I don't know if that's exactly right, but there's still Greek characters. But do you know, this is getting into a totally different topic than what you're talking about with it, but just in terms of themes and stuff. The Greek versions of the gods are always more peaceful and to an extent more caring, and then when you get to
as opposed to the Roman version,
and who are all about war and fighting, and which is what this book's all about. So I don't know if that's what he's going for, or because they still have Greek names, but that's what it feels like, anyways.
So the Amazons on Themyscira go from these loving community. Now in Azarello's run, they sleep with sailors, keep the female children,
that was weird,
and sell the male children to, I always forget his name, the guy who forges all the weapons and armor to work for him.
God, I forgot his name too.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
I don't like that.
He makes the children armor? No, he makes the children into armor?
No,
the children work for him.
Yeah, he takes
they become slaves, basically.
Except remember when she tries to free them, they want to stay.
Yeah, but
so they're not slaves. Or maybe they are. I don't know.
I'm not a fan of this aspect.
It's weird. I like this book. That was just a weird choice.
Yeah. A lot of other Wonder Woman writers are also not shy about talking about, specifically Phil Jimenez, how this really is just the opposite of everything this character was built to be to that point.
To be fair, I want to kind of jump on back to something I said right at the beginning of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Action Comics by Morrison. The original purpose of the New 52 was for new takes on the character.
Yeah.
And this is a completely new take on the character.
True.
So, you know,
I still disagree.
you could not like it, and that's...
No, yeah.
I can't... I don't want to, like, hate on him for trying something
And you know what?
completely new.
Both in that consensus and what I'm saying, that is where there's an issue with Wonder Woman in a way.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman as a cultural icon creates a massive problem for the creators, the company, and the fans. How Wonder Woman is so much of an icon, is so much of a feminist icon, that, you know, some fans want her some way, some fans want her the other way. In some unfortunate cases, without even trying, she can just represent all of women entirely, which isn't fair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not fair.
And that's something that can be pushed on her. That's something that a writer can go with. It's something that DC as a company can be afraid to explore. It all gets very muddled with this character, and I think that shows in how you look at Batman and Superman versus how you look at Wonder Woman, specifically in their success.
Yeah.
Batman has run after run after run, miniseries after miniseries, Elseworld after
will never
Elseworld.
stop. He's this...
I'm talking about 3 runs. I can think of...
Two
I'm talking about 4 runs. I can think of 2 more that are key. But really, it's Marston into Perez into Rucka and Rebirth.
Yeah, because you shouldn't even read... If you want the pure Wonder Woman, you shouldn't even read Azarella's. Right?
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She's a character that, for so many reasons, is pulled in every direction.
Yeah.
And it gets really crazy sometimes.
Yeah, it is crazy that she is one of the top 3 superheroes
Yeah.
at DC, but they don't really know what they want with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because even with Superman, I mean, he's gone through his phases, but there's always a Superman book coming out. There's always going to be a Clark, and there's always going to be a Bruce. There's always going to be a Batman.
Yeah. And an interesting, just while we're talking about the differences of the 3, for some reason, something that people get so caught up on is Wonder Woman's birth as a character.
Which is, always changing.
That's my biggest problem with Azarella's run. Is revealed that she's the daughter of Zeus.
Yeah.
Which I don't like.
I thought that was how it always was until you told me it wasn't.
And aside from that, like...
Because they use that in the movie, too, don't they?
Yeah, I was going to say, aside from the tacked-on 3rd act of the movie, that's my least favorite part of the movie, too. It stays strong with the forged in clay.
Yeah.
So originally, her mother sculpted her out of clay, and she was given life by the gods. So she's essentially made of clay. But that's the thing. People get so hung up on that, but no one questions, how is Batman born? How is Superman born?
Well, Batman, he's a normal guy.
But my point is, I'm saying...
No, but that's fair.
The creation, like Superman is... He's born and he comes to Earth. Batman's just on Earth. Yeah. But Wonder Woman, we get hung up on the is she clay? It doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
They all have like such iconic, like some of the most iconic origin stories, both Batman and Superman.
But yeah,
Wonder Woman's gets so meddled and rebooted time and time again.
Even in Morrison's, it's different. Do you know what Morrison's origin for her is? I won't spoil it for you. But
no, I don't.
Do you want me to say what it is? It's like a part of the first book, but it's different. It's very weird. I was not a fan. This was the part I wasn't a fan of.
Okay. No, I'm gonna read it.
It's for those of you who don't care about spoilers, you could probably look it up pretty easily. It's definitely an interesting idea.
I'm interested.
But
I am interested.
Different.
Very interesting.
As I said, Azarella's run. There's some people that like it. I own it. That says something.
You bought it.
I have the omnibus.
You bought it at his table.
I did.
At Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it heavily. Like I said, that was my first ever Wonder Woman book.
And I think that's most people who like it.
Yeah.
Are people that jumped in with the New 52.
I think that which I'm planning on reading a lot more Wonder Woman. It's a character, you asked Robbie, I've been talking about it for months. It's a character I really want to get more into. I think I'll always like it, but I think the reason I'll always like it is because it was my first.
Yes.
Also, the art's amazing.
That's kind of how I feel about it. Yeah, the art's really good.
The art's so good.
Have you read any of it?
I've not read any Wonder Woman ever.
Oh, okay. I'll recommend some good ones. So, what I was going to say to you, Rocco, so you've only read that. Your next step, in my opinion, should be Rucka's Rebirth.
Yeah, so I did read one other Rucka book that's not Rebirth.
I
read, which I thought you might want to talk about at the end, unless you want to talk about it now.
I'll talk about it in recommendations.
Okay,
and
so
we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about what that one is. But yes, this is
so Rucka's
in my wish list. I'm getting it real soon, I promise.
So Rucka had a different run, but then when Rebirth happens in 2016, DC Rebirth, Rucka teams up with Nicola Scott and Liam Sharp, and it's a Wonder Woman book that has 2 storylines that run concurrently, and there's thematic crossover. Yeah. It doesn't physically cross over, but thematically it works together very well. Liam Sharp does all the modern day stuff. Nicola Scott retells the origin. Rucka's Rebirth run is a direct response to how he feels Wonder Woman has been mistreated since 2011. And that is why I think it's the perfect one to read after the New 52.
Yeah, I should have bought it right after. But
there's the first issue is a really good meta take on Wonder Woman. It's been revealed that essentially she's been lied to about her origins. So Rucka throws in a little bit of a new element, but he also fully undoes Azzarello's. And there's a scene where she smashes a mirror, and you see a lot of these collective images of Wonder Woman's past, aspects that have been rebooted, stuff that he feels didn't work, and just how muddled her history is sort of the driving force of this story, and him fully re-cementing her, as I think she should be, something more like Perez's run. But Rucka's Rebirth is very good.
And it's a short run. It's only 2 hardcovers, 24 issues.
Yeah.
So I guess that's not too short.
I think he stops at 22.
Might be 22, yeah.
Because I think it's 21 and then he has like a special.
So yeah, two hardcovers, which is not that hard to get your hands on. So
yes.
It's definitely something I want to check out, and it sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I just love this character, man. I think I think she really is the best. I think, not that I'm arguing one's better or worse or whatever. I'm just saying where you have someone like Batman who sort of explores, he's a regular guy, but he's like damaged and obsessive. So in a way, he's inspiring, but he's what we shouldn't become.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm?
That's the best way to write him.
Yeah,
for sure.
And you have Superman,
the most human, even though he's not human.
Yeah,
that's his whole.
That's his big thing. Yeah.
And I think Wonder Woman, to her core, coming into something with no prior history that might not accept you, leading in only with your love and compassion, I think is one of the more key things that's missing from most other characters. And I think that's what makes the best Wonder Woman stories. Well, Phil Jimenez did an interview. This is my last thing before I get into recommendations. He did an interview where he actually chokes up in tears talking about one of his favorite moments in Wonder Woman history. A friend of Wonder Woman had her friend, I can't remember the exact context, but someone died, and she asked Wonder Woman if she can spread her ashes on the mascara. And Wonder Woman has the best reaction, and this is where Phil Jimenez just starts, tearing up. He has to take a second, he rubs his eyes, and Wonder Woman is just so, why would you even have to ask, And she's just the best, most compassionate character there is, really. And that's why I love Wonder Woman.
Man, I want to read more Wonder Woman.
Yeah. And I think she's a lot... fully reading the character is a lot easier than, a Superman or a Batman.
Yeah, it's
because it's more of a
Daredevil
specific
level easy.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to do it.
All 3 of us love Daredevil.
That's the Marvel guy.
That's all 3 of our guys. Sorry, I don't want to get on a tangent.
Yeah? That's all 3 of our favorite Marvel characters?
Yeah.
Awesome.
He is 1,000,000% my favorite Marvel character.
This works out so good.
And I've read everything except for
a Marvel
Ways of
Trinity.
Souls.
Of Daredevil, and Daredevil.
Yeah, we
each pick a run.
Yeah.
We'll work that out.
No, we should just do a...
We could go...
Yeah,
because, I mean...
Yeah.
We've all read Miller's fairly recently.
Yeah.
Sorry, we could cut this out, but I just got
We'll
excited.
talk about this after.
Yeah.
It's a really good idea. Get hyped, people.
Get hyped.
So, just to cap it off, I'm going to recommend some key Wonder Woman stories.
Yeah.
I talked about these full runs. Now, I'm assuming most people do, but a run is the full amount of issues covered by
A writer.
a creative team but sometimes the artist shifts around, so a writer.
Yeah, usually the artist. It's very rare.
So when I say the George Perez run, that's every issue written and or drawn by George Perez, drawn by other people at times towards the end.
Yeah.
Because he has a hard time keeping up with those deadlines.
Yeah, man. That's
a
hard.
lot. Yeah, George Perez,
writing,
so
inking,
detailed
and
though.
did he do the colors too? I don't know, but even if he didn't, writing, drawing, and inking.
No, he only penciled.
Okay, but still, writing and penciling.
That's a lot.
A monthly comic.
That's a lot.
It's hard to write a monthly comic, or
He had a co-writer at times, but still,
still
so much
Yeah.
work.
And that wasn't the only book he was doing at the time.
Yeah.
He was doing Superman stuff at the time. He was doing, I'm sure he was doing Batman. He was doing Teen Titan stuff. And sorry,
What a guy. So
yeah, really good dude.
recommending Wonder Woman, I would say the Golden Age stuff is not for everyone, just because some of it reads. It's a different era of writing,
Yeah,
and I'll say that.
yeah. Golden Era is rough. for me.
But something with the Golden Age Wonder Woman that I think is really beneficial is you can kind of just start at the beginning and just like read as much as you want. You know what I mean? Like if you start to trail off, you sort of get the core concept there.
Yeah.
And I think the earlier stuff is sort of the most interesting historically. After that, of course, I'm going to recommend the George Perez run. But again, that's a big commitment. That's 3 omnibuses. Omnibuy.
Yes.
Is that Omnibuy?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
3
3
omnibuses.
really big books.
I'm gonna buy.
But
Yeah.
the
3
benefit
$100 cover
Yeah.
price books.
the benefit of his run is that his opening 14 issues is his big.
Is that the Gods and Monsters storyline?
I always mix up the title, so I don't want to say yes or
Okay.
no.
Because that's getting that storyline is getting an absolute
Okay.
size book.
So that's the defining story. It has a beginning and an end. You can continue the run after that, or you can stop at that point. It's 14 issues. You can get that all in one. And if it is the one I'm thinking of, then yeah, the Absolute's coming out.
Yeah.
Which I might get that.
Have all 3 Omnis
And the Absolute. Who knows?
Sounds like a Robbie thing to do.
So, yeah, I want every edition of Sandman.
Yeah.
So, after that, I would also recommend the first part of Greg Rucka's run, the Hikatea, which you just recently
so
read.
that's the other. It just got released in deluxe, or re-released in deluxe, like
Yeah.
a month ago. So I picked it up.
Mhm.
Fantastic read. It's so short. It's like 2 double-size issues or something. or
Yeah,
3.
it's a real quick read.
So-
I would say you to read that.
Cool.
It's on Hoopla, or I can just give you mine.
I'll take yours.
Okay. Okay.
Did you get the deluxe?
No, I have the first print of
Yeah,
the super
That's
skinny
cool.
trade.
Yeah, you should get the
I'll
deluxe.
take
It's a
yours
cheap deluxe.
so you can get the deluxe.
Or he wants
Oh,
both because
we'll talk
he has,
about that.
You know, he has
I got my-
sentimental value to
Yeah.
it. Maybe 3.
Okay.
Yeah, that book was awesome.
And that's where.
Who does the art on that again?
Oh, I really don't know. I should.
Great art.
Yeah.
It's like realistic style, almost like it's like a mix of normal comic style and like Alex Ross style. Really interesting.
And I'll say similarly to George Perez, but a little more hard. You can read this and stop.
Which is what I did.
Rucka's run. If you're a diehard Wonder Woman fan, read it. It's somewhat important. It's pretty key. He does some really interesting stuff with her being a political figure in New York. There's a lot of interesting stuff he does with it, but ultimately he says all the best stuff in the Hikatea in the opening. So definitely get that. And then again, I would get Wonder Woman Rebirth by Greg Rucka.
What about
also by him?
Would you do Simone's run?
I didn't talk about Gail Simone's at all.
Yeah, I saw it.
If you can get your hands on that Omni.
It's out of print right now for no reason. It just came out like this year.
Yeah.
Sad.
I
I
am
really want it.
very eager to get that and reread that.
Yeah.
I haven't read that in full.
It's
but-
not too long of a run either.
No, but that's another good, really like Wonder Woman is not quick to start a fight. She's gonna try a bunch of other ways before doing that. Yeah, I would recommend. That's a really good, fun, modern take on the character without it being modern in the sense of Azzarello's. So again, I'll say if you're a diehard, you can get Azzarello's. It's the most different. I think it goes really against what the character is, but I think it's a very interesting read, especially if you have the other reads with that. And that's all I gotta say. I talked a lot.
Yeah, man. No, well, we all talked a lot in our own respective videos, I think.
Yeah.
I talked a lot today.
Yeah, you did.
I'm sorry, I kept talking over you.
It's all right.
But yeah, no. I think that was I think Wonder Woman's such an interesting character to talk about. I mean, I text you randomly all the time just to talk about Wonder Woman, and I barely read her, and I'm like, fucking.
Do I have
interested
anything good
in it.
behind me? No, I don't. Oh, I have my Wonder Woman statue up there.
She's freaking sweet, Lois.
I have Wonder Woman in her invisible jet over there.
Yeah,
you can't see where I'm pointing. I don't know why I'm doing this.
I can see.
Cool.
I have a Wonder Woman in an invisible jet based off like the '60s toys that were really small.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Thanks.
That was genuine. That was genuine.
I like it.
I like Wonder Woman. She's cool.
The Linda Carter series. Is
Linda
fantastic.
Carter. That's
Yeah, it's fun.
And I'm excited for the new one.
Yeah, I love the new
84.
movies.
Yeah.
That should be good.
I really love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
Gal
I think
Gadot.
she's
You sure that's the pronunciation you're gonna stick to?
Gal Gadot.
Because every time I think I know one, I hear a different one.
Which
Gal
one do you
Gadot,
think it is?
Gal Gadot?
Gal Gadot. I
don't
always
know.
say Gal Gadot.
Sure.
That's fine. I'm sticking with my guns.
I'm just not even gonna say it.
I said that
She's great. I love her.
She's really good.
She's super...
and she was relatively unknown when... I think everyone was relatively unknown when Snyder cast him except for Ben Affleck.
No, Ben Affleck. No one knew him.
Yeah. Who's Ben Affleck? All the main cast except for him.
I didn't.
And Jesse Eisenberg, I don't know.
No.
But like Henry Cavill, who knew about that? He was in like the Count of Monte Cristo.
He was the Witcher. He was John.
Yeah.
He was Johnny Witcher.
Johnny Witcher, coming at you from the Chimps studio live. Thanking you for watching. I don't know if we're done yet. I was just...
Okay.
It just started,
Real
it started
quick,
coming out.
Jonathan, did I mention anything Wonder Woman that you would read? Because I want you to read something.
I mean, Hecate.
Hecate.
I mean, that sounds like a good point.
That's a quick one too.
That's a quick one. A good
so
point.
short. I read it in like 30
I don't have
minutes.
to invest in a whole Omni, and I definitely want to read something. So
I would also recommend Rebirth to you.
Rebirth.
2 deluxes. Yeah.
I thought you should read that after the other stuff.
Well,
You said
that's
that.
just if you want to see the themes changing. You can
Yeah.
still just read.
You don't
Rebirth.
have to stick to the order.
The
Those
whole
are the
point of
standouts.
Rebirth was the same point of New 52 of just like
Wonder Woman's
resetting.
Rebirth is unique in what it's saying about what came before, though.
yeah.
Yeah, but hey, there's a lot of good stuff
No,
I mentioned.
Superman also. Kind of.
I didn't read. Oh no, I did.
Oh yeah.
I didn't read it, but that's also what the point of Superman was.
His was very good.
I did like that one.
Waiting for that Omni.
Batman Rebirth.
Best Rebirth. Good night.
Tom
Kong.